Picture this. A figure walks along a riverbank, minding their own business, perhaps humming a tune or tossing a stone across the current. The air is fresh, the water rushes steadily, the world seems calm, until something lunges from the murky depths, half-rotted, dripping wet, and reeking of decay. In that instant, the unlucky wanderer has crossed paths with a drowner. When standing at the water's edge, one should keep quiet. First, so as not to frighten the fish. Second, so as not to attract drowners. That advice comes from Yannick of Blaviken, a fisherman who has lived long enough to understand the habits of rivers and the things that dwell within them. And if there is one lesson every person raised near water learns early, it is this: never linger alone by a riverbank after dark. Never bathe in unfamiliar waters. And never assume that a splash is harmless. Drowners inhabit nearly every body of water on the continent. Rivers, lakes, marshes, mill ponds, flooded quarries, city canals, and even sewers. Wherever water is deep enough to conceal a body, one may find these creatures waiting beneath the surface. Some folks believe that drowners only live in the water bodies far away from large cities, but such predictability would be uncharacteristic of their kind. They thrive as well in city sewers, favoring waters choked with filth and decay. This is bad news for city dwellers, because it means they're never truly safe from an attack. Tales abound of drowners slithering up through storm drains, lurking in the shallows of canal districts, and even clawing their way into cellars that have flooded after heavy rains. An infestation in the wilderness is dire enough, but within the confines of a cellar at night, the terror is multiplied tenfold. Folks insist that drowners are drowned men, criminals cast into rivers, suicides denied rest, or sinners risen from watery graves to prey upon the living. Others claim they are born of unborn children destroyed by sorcery, or spirits trapped between worlds by unfinished business. These beliefs are widespread. They are also very wrong. Witchers, who have studied these creatures at far closer range than any villager ever should, agree on one thing: drowners are not reanimated humans. They are post-conjunction beings, monsters that entered the world when the spheres collided, and reality was torn open. Their resemblance to corpses is a coincidence, not an origin. A drowner looks much like a body hauled from stagnant water. Its skin is green or bluish, slick with slime, and carries the stench of rot and marsh gas. The creature is tall but unnaturally thin, with elongated limbs, swollen bellies, and hollow chests that rise and fall in a way no human ever would. Gills line its neck, dorsal fins run along its spine, and membranes stretch between its fingers. On the other hand, its eyes are round and fish-like, fixed in an expression of dull hunger. Every aspect of its body is adapted for life underwater. Drowners are excellent swimmers, perfectly suited to muddy rivers and weed-choked ponds. They are primitive creatures, possessing little intelligence and no language. And make no mistake, drowners will eat anything. They're scavengers by nature, feasting on bloated corpses that wash downriver. But they're not above hunting live prey when the opportunity presents itself. Humans, livestock, dogs, and even deer. If it bleeds, it's on the menu. Drowners attack by ambush. They strike from beneath the surface or from concealed banks, seizing victims and dragging them into the water. There, they drown them quickly, unless they are not hungry. In such cases, victims may be held submerged and left to decay, the flesh softening before consumption. It is a slow and terrible death, and one reason riverside disappearances are so common. They are most active at dusk and at night, especially during rainfall. Under the cover of darkness and precipitation, drowners will leave their waters and roam inland, growing bolder as visibility worsens. Despite their crude nature, Drowners are rarely solitary. They hunt in groups, compensating for individual weakness with numbers. When threatened, they coordinate instinctively, flanking, swarming, and pressing an advantage without hesitation. Their lack of fear also makes them especially dangerous, especially since they do not retreat when wounded, nor do they hesitate at the sight of steel. What we do know is that drowners rely on claws, teeth, and sudden lunges when in combat. They are also extremely swift, difficult to surround, and dangerous in numbers. Fire is one of their greatest enemies, though. Flames disrupt their movements, cause panic, and severely damage them. A torch held high, a blade set aflame, or the crackling burst of an igni-sign is often enough to drive them screeching back into the depths. Nevertheless, silver weapons remains the most effective if one aims to put them down permanently. Like many of their cursed kin, drowners recoil in agony when the gleam of silver carves through their rotting flesh. Poison, on the other hand, is largely ineffective. These creatures dwell in filth and decay, their bodies already saturated with toxins produced by decomposition. Bleeding wounds also mean little to them, and fear has no hold on their minds. Witchers are advised to always aim for their head when wielding a silver sword, for such a strike is the most decisive. Without silver at hand, the legs become the next best target. Crippling them will send the creature crashing down, giving the witcher ample time for a definite strike. The finishing blow must be delivered swiftly, before the beast can recover its footing or summon its pack for reinforcements. In the end, the warning is always the same. Where there is water, there may be drowners. And where drowners gather, someone eventually disappears. So remember this: stay quiet near the water, stay alert, and if something green and slick rises from the surface, run. Run as fast as you can. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more.